If everyone would take your seats, please. Wherever you want to sit. Open seating today. Well, thank you. I love the power of this mic. I'd like to welcome you all here this morning as we celebrate the promotion of Sergeant Kensel, Chip Kensel. And would you now please join me and stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First off, I'd like to thank you all for being here as we celebrate this great day. And I'd also like to introduce another board member who's here, Shirley Brown. Thank you, Shirley, for being here. And at this time, I'd like to turn the podium over to Jody Dumas. Welcome, Jody.
Thank you. Caroline, thank you very much. It is absolutely my honor to be here this morning to introduce Chief Enos. But before I do, I'd like to talk a little bit about my perspective on school police and SRO program and what the wonderful work that's going on here in this department that we're here to celebrate today. As I look across the district, I have a unique ability and opportunity to see into kind of all the events and things that are going on at the schools, and that kind of funnels up to me, and we take a look at that on a daily basis. And let me tell you what I see. I see a unique group of individuals, not only in this department, but in all schools across the district, working together in a web of services, trying to provide whatever we can for students, where they need it, how they need it, working with them to make sure they lead productive lives, they can fit into school, they can do well, they can achieve at a high level. The SROs at the school sites, the lieutenants, the sergeants, the chief, they are part of that web of services, that team approach at every site, working daily to do what they can to make sure students have what they need, our schools are safe, and we're doing the very best for our community. So that's what I see on a daily basis. And I think as I think about Chief Enos and what he's accomplished in his position, he can't be everywhere every day, but what he has to do is put the right people in the right spots to make good decisions. In school policing and as an SRO, you can't sit around for an hour and talk about a situation to decide what you're going to do. It's immediate decisions that have to be made, and they have to be the right decision. So you have to put the right people in the right spot to make that happen. And I think what we're going to do here today is promote somebody from within who is the right person to help our team grow, help our team continue to make those great decisions. And so I'm excited to be here today to see that happen. So without further ado, Chief Enos.
Well, good morning, everybody. This is one of the days that I take the most pleasure in reference to as we continue to grow the agency here, as we continue to provide services to Sarasota County schools, especially the teachers and the students and the families in our community. One of the great things that I get the honor to do is be able to promote people that I know that are very, very deserving, that have rose to the high level of expectations, that have responsibility to not only to their family, but to their community, to children. And today I get to not only promote an individual that is excelled in school policing, who I've worked with in the past, but also I would consider a friend of mine, and as that I know that I have the trust in him that he's going to be exceptional as one of the leaders that we have at the school police department. A little bit about Sergeant Edward Chip Kensel. He came here. He worked with the Sheriff's Office of Sarasota County for about 14 and a half years. He also worked for the Anne Arundel County Police Department in the state of Maryland for 21 years, where he retired as the rank of corporal. During his career, he had assignments as a patrol officer, as a patrol corporal, narcotics detective, crimes against property detective, worked on cold case homicides as a detective, traffic homicide investigator, field training officer, and then ultimately as a school resource deputy for the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office, where he was there for 6 years. He's also attended many conferences, holds many different certifications, especially as it relates to school policing and working with children. As among his many distinctions, if you look at his personnel file, he's received awards from MAD for DUI enforcement, many different unit citations, the Chief Award for Job Excellence. He was also the recipient of the Officer of the Year Award by the Maryland Senate and Maryland House of Delegates, which is really a phenomenal thing to be able to receive. The other thing, though, I would tell you about Chip is that when I was and had the opportunity to be the supervisor at the Sheriff's Office in the Youth Services Unit, as in the section, I got to bring Chip back twice as a school resource officer. I remember the first time that I met him, he was trying to get in to be an SRO, that I knew his heart was in it, and he kept trying and showed that he really, truly had a calling in order to work with kids. So he ultimately was at Sarasota Middle School, had to leave due to some different things that happened within the agency. Then he got back right away, and he doesn't let me forget that he still has the plaque I gave him for about a year of service, and then came back in again, where he worked with some exceptional people within the youth services section, which I thank them for coming today, supporting Chip. It means a lot to me, and I'm sure it does to Chip also. The other thing too is Chip came on as a reserve officer back in July. And a lot of the agency at the school police department have seen him out doing field training. He attended all of the training this summer in July. He went through the basic SRO school. He went through CIT, de-escalation, naloxone. He went through all of the training of all the other officers, and Chip did it on his own. He was a volunteer. He didn't receive any compensation. He was not an employee because of his retirement from the sheriff's office as well, which is exceptional. He then began, as he asked what he could do for us, and he started going around and doing all the field training guides and the manuals, working with Sergeant Perna and Lieutenant Lorenz and Lieutenant Oakes, going around and basically training all of the officers at their schools. And he did it all on his own time. And he continued to provide service on his own time, which shows it. He's the type of person that we're receiving that when he was at Sarasota Middle School, a kid needed a bicycle. And Chip went out and he bought it on his own and gave him the kid because he needed to be able to come to school. And that's the person that you're getting. So without further ado, if Chip and his wife Connie will come up here. There you go. We'll do a couple of oaths here, and then we'll get on to the badge pinning. So the first is the law enforcement oath of honor. If you repeat after me. Well, actually, we'll do this. School Police Department oath of office. I state your name.
I, Edward Kensel,
A citizen of the state of Florida.
a citizen of the state of Florida
And of the United States of America.
and of the United States of America,
And being employed by the Sarasota County School Board.
being employed by the Sarasota County School Board
And as a recipient of public funds.
as a recipient of public funds,
As such employee.
as such employee,
Do solemnly swear that I will,
do solemnly swear that I will,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
uphold,
uphold,
protect, and defend
protect, and defend
the constitutions of the state of Florida
the constitutions of the state of Florida
and of the United States of America.
and of the United States of America.
I further swear that I will,
I further swear that I will,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
enforce the laws, policies, and procedures
enforce the laws, policies, and procedures
as enacted by the Sarasota County School Board.
as enacted by the Sarasota County School Board,
Sarasota County,
Sarasota County,
the state of Florida,
the state of Florida,
and the United States of America.
and the United States of America.
And I will maintain the highest level of integrity,
I will maintain the highest level of integrity,
service, and excellence
service, and excellence
as expected of a Sarasota County Schools police officer.
as expected of a Sarasota County Schools police officer.
And now the law enforcement oath. On my honor,
On my honor,
I will never betray my badge,
I will never betray my badge,
my integrity,
my integrity,
my character,
my character,
or the public trust.
or the public trust.
I always have the courage to hold myself and others accountable for our actions. I will always have the courage to hold myself.
Courage to hold myself and others accountable for their actions.
I will always uphold the Constitution,
I will always uphold the Constitution,
my community,
my community,
and the agency I serve.
and the agency I serve.
Congratulations. Okay, now we'll go ahead and you get the opportunity to pin the badge. And I'll say something real quick as you're doing this. The police badge is a visible sign that the wearer is a person of integrity, character, and courage, as well as an example of the commitment to the sworn oath the officer has taken to serve and protect, and a means of connecting police officers to the community that entrusts them with providing for their safety and security. You now have the honor of pinning the badge on one of our officers.
If I can't even see it, and he can't either.
So since you can't see, be careful. Be very careful. Here you go.
Don't scare me. There we go.
There it is. And now we'll go ahead and have Superintendent Dr. Bowden come up to say a few words.
First, I want to say congratulations and welcome to your role here with the school district. You know, we've said many times we have over 5,000 employees here in the school district, but what we expect of our officers is different. Your mission is different than every other employee in the district. And so I know we have a number of officers here in attendance, and we have our friends from the sheriff's office. And I want to thank you for accepting this role. You're different, and we recognize that. We talked, wow, a year and a half, 2 years ago about starting a department, and it was a kind of an abstract concept about building a department. And I'm not sure everybody understood what we were trying to do. And we talked a lot about officers and headcount and finances, but we didn't talk about the men and women. And I think this morning was a great reminder about, yes, it's about your role. Yes, it's about the uniform, but it's also about the men and women and the heart that you have for kids and your willingness to serve in this capacity. And so I thank you. I absolutely thank all of you for choosing a career in law enforcement. I see Deb, I still call her Deb, Lieutenant, in the audience. We worked together at the technical college. She was the officer assigned there, so we had an opportunity to work together. And so I know the character of the people that wear the uniform. So thank you as Superintendent of Schools for accepting this unique mission, and welcome aboard. And so that concludes our ceremony for this morning, and we're going to take about 5,000 pictures of you now. Great. Come on up.
Good morning, and thank you everyone for being here. All my
peers with the school board, police department, and still I feel peers and friends from the sheriff's office. I'm very happy that you all were able to be here, and I appreciate it. I look forward to my position here at the Sarasota County School Board Police Department as a sergeant. I spent 5 years at Sarasota Middle School and 1 year at Riverview High. And the most important thing that I took from all of that is it is and it always will be about the children, about not only their safety, but as officers that at schools that I will supervise and help train them and all the training that I've been doing with them with their field training. And, you know, a lot of times I discuss with them the importance of understanding that they are just children. Sometimes they don't make the best decisions. Sometimes they don't think at all. Sometimes they don't think before they talk. And remember that, and remember the fact that, you know, compassion and empathy can go a long way. And I look forward to working with everyone here at the school board. And I want to, along with the chief sent out an email probably, I don't know, maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. And he spoke about two things that I even remember back when I was in the academy in 1983. And the two things that he brought up in that email was about excellence and professionalism. And I believe that I've always adhered to those throughout my entire, going to be 37 years of law enforcement career. And I look forward to bringing that also and going on with the mission of the chief and the mission of the school board and our mission every day at the school board police department and how that relates to children, the safety and the security of everyone at all the campuses. And I'm excited to get started. And thank you.
All right, let's take some pictures. And always in front of the flag.